So I did a video recently on why I am certain that a Legends Johto Celebi game of some kind is coming soon. Now let me do a sort of reverse on that, because the counter argument is no, Unova is coming next, and I'm gonna say no, it's absolutely not happening. At least not in Generation 9. Don't get me wrong, it would be so cool to go back in time and see the two kings of Unova. To learn more about the original dragon and play a Legend-style game. To see a Unova when it had two kings and two castles, one in the west and one in the east. Yeah, that stuff would be awesome. It actually also wouldn't be a horrendous idea if they were going through like Ilka-style remakes of previous games to just report Black and White or Black and White 2 to the Switch in the same way they did Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl, except hopefully just a little bit cleaner. But I don't think it's time, for a couple reasons that I'm going to go through right now. First though, before I do that, I want to say a huge thank you and shout out to today's sponsor, Surfshark VPN. I know I'm not the only person who's been stuck out on a train when a new Pokemon trailer's dropped, or out traveling, and I don't quite have the data or connection I'd like, and public Wi-Fi could be the way to go, but is it safe? Surfshark, which is available using the link in the description, is the answer, helping you surf the web with the protection of a VPN, which routes your connection through another server anywhere else in the world. But let's be real, the main reason I've been using Surfshark for several years now is because of the ability to route my connection through another region of the world and watch region-locked content. Heck, maybe you're from the Galar region like me, the good old UK, and you'd like to watch some videos that are only available over in America or in the Unova region. And that's where Surfshark's got you covered. As always, I'm using this as the main way to keep up to date with Pokemon journeys. It's been highly convenient for me. And as always, if you sign up today using my link, it not only hugely helps out my channel, but you'll be getting 83% off and 3 months for free, which makes it the best value for money VPN I'm aware of. And on top of all of that, if you're not totally satisfied, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no reason not to click the link and try it out. You can never be too safe online, so what are you waiting for? Click that link at the top of the description. Thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And let's get on with my reasons as to why Unova is absolutely not happening next. Number 1, Johto is just first. The time to revisit Johto comes before the time to revisit Unova. I am adamant about this. It has been the longest amount of time since we visited any region. It was Johto in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I won't go too much into this because that's what the whole other video that's linked in the description is about, but effectively, Pokemon wants to keep their IP of all these various regions alive. They want to be able to resell Pokemon to you in various ways, whether that's lines of different plushes or shirts or cards, different sets, all themed around different regions. It becomes hard to do that if you don't have any nostalgia or connection to that region, and so every couple of years they want to revisit an old region as well as come up with a new one so that you will become interested in it if you've never played that generation before. Johto is simply next, but reason number 2, and very quickly, it's too soon for Unova. Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green came out in 2004. The next remakes, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, came out in 2009, and then 2014 for Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. These are 5 years between each of them. You might want to start quoting Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee to me. I think that's a bit of an exception because of the popularity of Pokemon Go. And note that there weren't any remake games during Generation 5 as well. They just skipped straight into Gen 6 and then did the remakes for ORAS there. And then it wouldn't be another 7 years until 2021 when we finally got the release of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And we got some more Sinnoh content with Legends Arceus the following years, but basically, yeah, 7 years. That means our range, in my opinion, of when we should expect to get remakes of previous generations are in the 5 to 7 year range. Heck, even if you want to be super liberal about it and count Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that was 2018, so 2014, still 4 years between ORAS and Let's Go, and then another 3 years. So even at the most liberal, 3 years before we can see the release of a Unova game. And I think that's really an exception because I think Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were an exception to the rules. And again, to call them rules as well is kind of wrong. It's like, just the tradition is like 5 years is the minimum. It's what's tradition, it's what's standard. And I think we're all really sort of expecting them to do DLC again the year after Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think most people are probably in line with that. To have Unova remakes of some kind be what, the following year? Or even the year after that, just 3 to 4 years after? To revisit the Unova region just 3 to 4 years after we've revisited the Sinnoh region, it's never been done. It's simply too soon. My expectation is that Generation 5 will be remade and will be revisited. Unova will be revisited, but it won't be revisited till Generation 10. And That is where my next point comes in. Number 3, basic finger counting tells me that Generation 5 is half of Generation 10. Generation 10 is going to be a big deal. It's going to happen around about the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. Gen 5 represents really the halfway point in Pokemon's history. And a big changing point for the franchise, the last time that the games were in sprite form before the transition to 3D. I fully believe that Generation 5 revisits and remakes will play a big role in the Gen 10 era of Pokemon as a celebration of Pokemon's full history. The last time that Pokemon were in sprite form. In fact, there has been a little bit of a fan outcry to see a return to sprite art in the world of Pokemon. I wonder if we could see that sometime during Gen 10 with some kind of Unovan revisit. I think Pokemon now are using these remakes as well to experiment more widely as to what the main series could be. Think about it. Over the last couple of years, while yes, Fire Red Leaf Green was in the exact same style as Ruby Sapphire and Emerald, and Heart Gold Soul Silver in the same style as Diamond Pearl Platinum, and then of course Oras was in the same style as X and Y, things really began to shift after that. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is very much its own style of game, almost considered a spin-off or a side game or whatever it is you want to call it, but same time still being mainline. Then we got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which is a very, very different way and departure from previous remakes. Being a one-for-one remake, but instead in this chibi art form style with some new features, but not a lot of new features, mostly focused on rebuilding Diamond and Pearl and not Platinum in the way that Oras included some kind of extra Emerald content. But then, to complement that, we got a lot of new content in Legends Arceus, where they didn't really revisit Sinnoh, but they kind of revisited Sinnoh in the Hisui region, where everything was the same, but very, very different in a totally new style. These are all a very wide variety of ways that you can do remakes. Heck, you don't even really need to do a remake. We did see during Generation 6, or maybe it was in 7 actually, I think it was in Gen 7 during Alola, ports became available with Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal appearing on the eShop. There are so many different options for the way that they could approach Generation 5 that I suspect that the Pokemon Company probably want to wait a little bit more time until after Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to just see how the land lies, to see what the community outcry is for. Do we want a return to sprite form? Would we like to see more chibi things like the Ilka games? Do we just want more Legends games? Or do we demand and want something new? Do we not want Pokemon Black and White remade or Pokemon Black and White 2? After all, you've got 2 sets of games there. Are we looking for a Pokemon Black and White 3? Or a Pokemon Black and White 1.5 remixed? Or maybe finally Pokemon Grey? Pokemon could do anything. All the options are there and they're all being considered, but I certainly don't think they're being developed off the heel of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, Legends Arceus, Scarlet and Violet, and Scarlet and Violet's DLC. I am sure that they will be decided on probably towards the latter end of next year, but Pokemon probably has a couple of ideas that they're juggling based on the feedback of us, the community, because that's how the Pokemon Company work. Because they're releasing new content yearly, they can't update a work that's already being trailered and revealed that much, but they can certainly implement the feedback from the previous game into the next one, and actually a lot of Pokemon games are exactly that. And I guess that is the other thing. People cherish Black and White 2 as much as they cherish Pokemon Black and White. These games are equally loved by different audiences sometimes, and sometimes for very different reasons. There's some people like both. I see them as very different games, with Black and White being a complete fresh of breath air, breath of fresh of the wild, Zelda Breath of the Wild. I see them as like a complete new slate with only Unovan Pokemon in there. But Black and White 2 I can really appreciate for the music, for the character development, for the story, and for all of the various webs across the Unova region that allow you to travel the region in a really unique way. There are 2 games to consider here as to what exactly it is that Game Freak even want to do. And it may well be the case that, like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus, they decide to revisit the Unova region in not just 1 game, but 2. And if it's too soon for 1 new Unova game, you can bet it's too soon to see 2 of them. Even if they release within like a 2-month window of each other, with Black and White being like Ilka style, and then Black and White 2 instead being Legends style or something like that, or some totally other thing, it's too soon to approach that much content when it comes to Gen 5. Ultimately, people aren't nostalgic for it just quite yet, but it has definitely fallen into the annals of retro Pokemon game now, I think. So those are just my thoughts. That is just my opinion. I want to hear what you're thinking down in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. By the way, if you click that link in the top of the description, it directly helps out the channel like a lot. So please do, just consider clicking the link. checking it out and seeing if it's for you. And don't forget, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So thank you to them for sponsoring the video. And of course, so hi, Pokemon Masters.
This is Ash Ketchum. You just watched a video by Birdkeeper Toby. That makes you a Pokemon Master.
As always, a massive thank you to those of you who support this channel on Patreon. You make this channel possible. And a special thank you to the big patrons of this month, the Elgator, Jedruben, and Michael Hornschuch. Thank you.